boys, we're back.
Heyo!
Heyo, we're back. Happy to be here. Feeling much better, I gotta tell you. So we recorded episode 2. I deleted it. I didn't like it, Jonathan. I apologize for that. I didn't bring my A game.
No, it was actually me because I was talking too quiet. I think I'm talking much louder now. Heyo!
You don't want to be shouting too many AOs. It's going to get loud.
Okay.
People are listening to this in their car. They got their AirPods in, and then they're going to be going deaf here. So let's not be doing that.
Okay.
Okay, let's go here, Johnny. I got a couple things I want to talk about. So it's a new year. Today's January 5th. We've had moments to kind of go back and think of our lives. And you reflect on the past year, and then we can look forward to the new year. And so I know I'm just springing this on you right now. So I just want to think about some of the things that we did this past year.
Okay.
One of the craziest things we did is we brought a family from a foreign country into our home.
I remember that. That was crazy.
I'm glad you remember.
That was pretty
It
crazy.
was crazy. They lived with us for 2 months, which honestly is pretty amazing. I thought that they were going to be with us for about 4 or 5 months, and they were able to be with us for 2 months, and now they're out on their own. They're doing their best. I mean, life's a struggle, but they're doing their best.
Yeah.
So with the Venezuelan family, anything you remember from that time frame?
I remember one specific memory. So during this time, I had a gut problem. I won't get too much into that, but basically my gut wasn't working, and so I couldn't eat that much food for a long time. And so I couldn't eat like anything. And so I tried some of the Venezuelan food, and I remember it was the best tasting food I've ever tasted.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, their food is great, and I'm sharing this. Hopefully, the kids speak English. The parents don't speak English, so if it gets back to them, if Chris Kelly or Marcos, if they're listening to this, just don't tell your parents this part. But so they'd been with us for about 6 weeks, and I could just tell that like we were doing good, but there was a little bit of tension there. Ralph loved it. Ralph had like just new best buds there, and in fact, Ralph loved the food. But some of the other kids, they were struggling with it. Just different. I mean, look, the food tastes great, but they cooked with a little bit more. I'll say a little bit more, a lot more oil than what we're accustomed to ourselves in our home. And so I remember we had this come to Jesus meeting, like, okay, guys, how are things going? How are things working out? And I think it was David said, Dad, can you please tell them to stop cooking for us? Every time I eat their food, I have diarrhea for hours afterwards.
I remember that.
And I was like, I'll happily have this conversation. Tell me how to say it, because I don't know how to say, hey, like, my son has diarrhea, stop cooking for us. Because they're just trying to help out. They're trying to do their best.
Yeah.
And it was about a week and a half after that meeting that they said, hey, we have this opportunity. We're going to go and move to Utah. So I didn't have to have that conversation with them.
Yeah. I remember, like, they just had a giant, like, our biggest pan just filled about halfway with oil.
Yeah. And look, I lived in Venezuela for 2 years, served a mission there, and you would just keep a pan with oil, with cooking oil on there, and you would heat up arepas, you'd cook platanos in there, you just use it for a week, a month, whatever, and then you'd recycle it or dump it out, and
yeah,
that's just kind of how it goes. Anything you have to think about from last year?
Well, I do remember I went to school a lot. I had a good summer, and yeah.
Yeah, we did a river trip.
Think
about that. I mean, we did a river adventure, a 4-day river trip.
Yeah. I remember I went on a 30-something mile hike.
Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you went backpacking.
Yeah, so basically, so in our church, we were just like we were just planning for a big backpacking trip, and we were just preparing for a while, and it was supposed to be like 50 miles at the beginning, then it knocked down to 40, and then it was like 35, I think, or something like that, or just 30 or 20, and so we went on the trip, and some people went the wrong way, and so they had to find their way back to camp, and in the end, it was like supposed to be 25 miles. It was like 35 miles.
Yeah, so I mean, just some different details in the story. Like a massive rainstorm came up,
Yeah.
and instead of staying for multiple days, it was like, guys, we got to turn back the clock. We got to go back to camp like now. And
Yeah.
somebody was saying they saw moose. There was lightning strikes that were all around. I mean, it's pretty treacherous. Some kids were crying because that's what some kids do.
Yeah.
Men don't cry.
I did not cry.
I've never cried a day in my life. I cry almost every week now.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'm not a man anymore, but it's funny. There's something happened about 2 years ago where I just get emotional all the time.
I
I mean,
understand.
I'm not like
it.
sobbing, but like all of a sudden I'm like, why am I sweating from my eyes? It's
Yeah,
weird.
just like I feel like sometimes there's just be a gust of wind, something gets in your eye, you're like, oh
No,
my.
I mean, I'm indoors. There's no wind, and all of a sudden I'm just like get emotional.
Maybe some dust falls.
Too many head injuries.
Oh yeah.
I've had a few of those. We'll tell stories about that at some point, not tonight. I want to tell a story about what happened tonight. It's important. There's a mystery we've been trying to solve for a while.
Oh.
The mystery has not been solved yet, but we're a step closer to solving it. So we have a little buddy, Ralph. His name's Tori, a good friend of the family. We've known him for six plus years now.
Plenty of years.
Plenty of years. And so kids play tennis. We bring Tori with us to tennis. And every week when we drop him off, there's a house in his neighborhood that has a red light inside of it.
It's just like so weird. It's like I thought at first maybe it's a tent. It is not the tent.
Definitely not the tint, and maybe you're not the best judge of what it should look like, being that you are color deficient.
Well.
I mean, but you can still see there's a weird color going on there.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. There's no other lights on in the house. The front room is just illuminated with this red light.
Yeah.
And so after we dropped off Tori, we said, let's figure this one out. So what did we do?
So at first we were kind of just joking around. Yeah, my dad's like, okay, we're going to stop right here and Jonathan go up there. And my dad's just joking around thinking
Can I pause you real quick? I like how you say my dad. Like here I am, for the record, I am his dad.
Okay.
So you're talking
JP Diggs.
Like, you're talking to me in the third person, which maybe I'm going to start referring to myself in the third person.
Okay. So Pa here, he was just joking around, and he was like, "Okay, we're gonna stop right here." And then I get out of the car, and he's like, "Wait, Jonathan, you're gonna actually do this?" And I see some people snickering in the car, and then I walk up, and I ring the doorbell, and nobody answers the door, and it says, "Please leave a message on this doorbell." And I'm like, so we've been driving past your house for a couple of years now, and we're just wondering why you have a red light on in your house. And I was like, that's all. And then I'm walking away, and then I do a nice good old heel tap on the way back in the car.
And heel taps are always classy, regardless of the situation, even in funerals.
Yeah.
I've never had a doorbell ask me to leave a message, and so I would have been caught off guard. Like, obviously didn't leave a return number or a, hey, get back to me, mail me a letter at whatever.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll have to try this again. There is one other thing that happened tonight, and this is you very much disappointed me tonight.
And what?
No, this is happened 5 minutes ago. Or however many minutes before we did this podcast. We were just downstairs. So your sister, your college-aged sister, is in town. Two of her good friends are also in town. They're downstairs hanging out. We're not going to say that they were crocheting, but that's exactly what they were doing.
And watching a movie.
The TV was off. They were chit-chatting and crocheting. And somehow I got one of them to agree to kiss you, to give you your first kiss.
Not my first. I'm just joking.
Oh, good, man. And she even lathered up the lips, man. She puckered up. She asked for a breath mint.
Yeah.
She wanted this to be memorable for everyone.
And I denied.
You shied away.
Yeah. I just laughed it off.
I mean, this could have been, like, Jonathan, you're 12 years old. You could be like, hey, I kissed a college chick this weekend.
Nobody would believe me, though.
Who cares if they believe? You know it's true. We
Yeah.
could have gotten video evidence of this.
Yeah, we could have.
I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could go try to see if that offer's still on the table.
I'll go check.
Hey, should we take a pause here, see what happens?
Sure.
All right, we'll pause. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back.
Ayo.
All right, so we have a new guest with us right now. You can say whatever you want your name is.
Most people call me Mary Beth.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we got Mary Beth here. One of Harvey's friends. And so John, we just went back downstairs, and you got some gum. And go ahead and just tell us what happened.
Well, so we were talking about earlier about somebody kissing somebody, and so I just said before, well, I'm gonna need some gum, and then I was like, what type do you prefer? And then
A gentleman move.
yeah, you know me, such a gentleman. And then I just leaned in, and next thing you know,
Now, are you engaged? Do you think this is gonna go anywhere?
no.
No?
Well, excuse me. I guess that's a little bit of a miscommunication we had.
Yeah, because Mary Beth is not the kiss and run type. You might have bitten off a little bit more than you can chew there. All right, so Mary Beth, I don't want to claim a number of how many guys you have or haven't kissed, but where would you put this kiss on your ranking?
Definitely top three. Definitely top three, I would say. It was pretty romantical. I can't lie.
All right, this is great. Okay, well, as you head back up to BYU, is there anything that you're going to teach the guys up there from this experience?
To be forward, ask the flavor of gum. It makes a difference. That is the difference between home base and base one. I mean, that's all there is to it.
The crazy part is Jonathan no longer has gum in his mouth and you have gum in yours. Jonathan's a little red right now.
You know me.
And so is Mary Beth over there. So. All right, I need to take a step away from this for a second. Look, we got to add some video here at some point. I don't think I'll get the consent from either party to have that added, but just know there was an actual video recording of this event. So.
Not edited.
And with permission.
Okay.
We're back. I just had to compose myself a little bit. That was kind of funny. Congratulations, you got your first kiss.
Thank you.
All right. So the holidays are past. A common gift in the holiday season is a candle. I don't know why. Aromatherapy is one of those things. Jan Livingston was big into that.
I know.
We were introduced to her Candles by Jan or whatever it was in the dinner party episode.
I remember. And
but, oftentimes you get the vanilla candle or the cinnamon candle. A lot of feminine type candles.
yeah.
You were telling me some ideas that you had that might be better options.
So I was thinking, there's like there's always these candles that are, I'd say, girly and all. But why don't they make a manly candle? You want some in there.
Yeah, let's get some that's some testosterone in that candle.
Yeah. So I decided to think of a BBQ candle. So when you're outside cooking some hamburgers or like ribs or whatever, and you're like, man, this smells amazing right now. Or you're in the garage and you're fixing up the car, not the Tesla, and you smell gasoline. We want those type of candles.
Yeah, or say you've been working and you just got a little bit of BO.
Yeah.
And you just smell like a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
I love that smell. It smells kind of like tacos.
Yeah. There's another idea.
Taco candles.
Taco candle. You come home and you're like, man, I wish my house smelled like Taco Bell.
Yeah. We could just go over to Taco Bell and order some. Or we could buy a Taco Bell candle
I mean, In-N-Out Burger. That's one of those vintage smells.
Yes.
You know, you're driving past, you're like, this smells good. I want me some In-N-Out double right now.
Yeah.
Where's that candle?
Nowhere. People haven't made it.
So look for candles by Jonathan.com.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
And also, this is all copyrighted or
patent pending.
Yeah.
We're not candle makers.
So if you are a candle maker, please reach out to us.
Y'all candle makers, you're on notice. We're looking for you. We got, a huge listenership. Look.
Yeah.
I talked about this last time. That if our listenership was greater than 2, I'd be impressed.
And we are impressed.
Yeah, we're significantly greater than 2.
Woo, woo.
I mean, look, I posted this thing a few days ago. We're at 30 listeners at last check.
Let's go.
Now, look, they could have just listened to the introduction, which wasn't one, so they gave us about a good minute and a half. But I don't care. The statistics are saying we're basically about ready to be paid for what we're doing.
Basically.
I'm not quite ready to put in my 2 weeks' notice yet. But Joe Rogan, he needs to be concerned because we're coming for his listenership.
Yeah.
The hard-hitting facts are about to start hitting here.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's look. I think this has been pretty good. We don't need to go on for forever tonight. This has been a good episode, at least for now. I'm going to share a little light on next week. We're going to have a special guest.
Very special guest.
So, do we want to say who it is?
No, let's surprise him.
We'll keep it a surprise. I am going to be at Disneyland this week. How are you?
If you're not going, then I will be there. We'll see.
I'm venturing to guess that you will not make it there. So hopefully I can see some cool stuff at Disneyland.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I went to Disneyland. I was there with my teenage daughters, and I was not there with little kids. And we were at the Autobahn, right, the car ride thing.
Yeah.
Which honestly has got to be one of the absolute worst rides in Disneyland. If they look at the amount of space that ride takes up and the benefit of that, like, close that ride down. You can do so much more with that real estate.
You could just turn it into, like, something really cool.
Well, yeah, that's what they should do.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so we're sitting there waiting in this line, and there is a girl. She was probably 3 or 4 years old in a princess dress having an absolute meltdown. Not even minutes, seconds before she's about to get into that car.
Like, what's going on, lady?
What's going on? Well, what's going on is it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was warmish, and this girl apparently was tired. She'd probably been up since early in the morning, and the excitement of going there. So she just melted down, and I did what any other reasonable person would do. I took a picture. You can look at the mom and be like, yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I was talking to somebody just today. And I was telling them, we were talking about Disney, not Disneyland, we were talking about Santa Claus.
Oh.
And this is an earmuff alert. So if you are listening with children that are Santa believers, I'd recommend that you either turn it off or you cover the ears. Jonathan's covering his ears, he doesn't need to.
Oh, my bad.
So I went to lunch with this guy today, and he was saying that his in-laws are from Sweden. And their Christmas in Sweden, they celebrate everything at midnight. And so they give all the gifts, and then Santa comes by later and gives the smaller gifts.
Oh.
Chocolate, just some things to fill the stockings or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, why do you do that? And he goes, well, it's kind of nice because then all the big gifts are from me, and Santa just brings the ancillary stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That way it's not like, oh, well, Santa brought me this bike, and Santa bought me this PlayStation, or whatever it is, right? It's,
yeah.
Oh, well, Santa got me some chocolates. That was nice of that guy.
Yeah.
And so that reminded me of, you were probably 5 years old. This is probably about 7 years ago. Do you remember this?
I don't really remember this, but I remember, like...
You remember what the net effect of it was?
Yes, I remember. I remember I became a man that day.
Yeah, that day you became a man. We had a bar mitzvah for you. We're not Jewish, but that's what we did. So, so what happened is it was the day after Christmas, and Renee and I were cuddling there in bed, and then, you and Ralph came in, And you guys were just like, Santa's the best. I'm like, oh, tell me about that. You go, Santa's the best. He brought me this bike. He bought me this. He bought me that. What did you buy me, Dad? You didn't buy me anything.
Yeah.
And in probably one of my finer parenting moments, I said, you know what, man? That fat man didn't buy you anything. And you said, what? And I said, no. I bought you that bike. I bought you that football. I bought you that whatever. And you were looking like, what? No, you didn't. Santa did. I said, I'll go show you the receipts. I bought this stuff. And I said, you think a fat man's going to fit down a chimney and magically bring gifts to every boy, girl in the world? I said, no. I said, let me tell you something, kid. Santa ain't real. Jesus is real, but Santa ain't real.
Amen.
Well, I mean, so Renee's kind of looking at me at this moment like, really, we're doing this? And at that point, it was too late. I had done it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to, Johnny, maybe I need to apologize.
No. I feel like my life has changed from a downward slope to a complete upward slope. This podcast, and not even only that Santa experience has changed my life.
Yeah, sure. But there's a magic of Christmas, of like the excitement of believing. And I took that away from, not only from you, I mean, I really took it away from Ralph. I mean, he was probably 3 at the time.
No wonder Ralph's so messed up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll laugh about it later. We'll have to pay for his therapy too, so. It's all going to come back to, so when did you tell your kids about Santa Claus? Well, he was like 3. Classic mistake, Dad. Classic mistake. Okay, Jonathan, this is a night to remember.
First kiss.
First kiss, man. Make that a journal entry.
I will.
College girl. You're not messing around with these middle school girls.
Yeah, you know me. I'm going for the higher up people.
Upper echelon.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, she has about 7 years on you, but that'll be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she'll be able to get through medical school and you'll be ready.
Yeah. Well, I would like to play a game with you real quickly. It's a quick, super fun game. And it's not my original game, but I heard it on some other podcast, which will be nameless at this moment. And it is called 48 Hours to Survive. And so, you are, you're just sitting around a house, normal day, okay? And then you get a notification. In 24 hours, a bounty for $100 billion is going to be put on your head. Sent to the whole entire world.
Okay.
What are you going to do to prepare?
To prepare for it?
Yeah. Oh, and if you win, then you get all the money. If
So
you
I just got
survive.
to survive 24 hours.
48.
48 hours?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it'd be too hard. I really don't. And maybe that's just me being naive, because that's a pretty large sum of money. And
Yeah.
so people are going to come out of the woodworks. You know, I think you got to immediately ditch your cell phone. I can't drive my Tesla because that'll track everywhere I go. Plus, I need my cell phone to drive it.
Yeah.
I think I could, you know, like homelessness myself out somehow, disguise myself away. I feel like I could blend in somehow where
Yeah.
all of a sudden I can just roam in the wilderness, you know, without seeing anybody for 2 days.
Yeah.
There's probably trackers out there. There's probably people that be like, you know, get my scent, and the dog hound be after me. So I'm saying, like, I feel like it'd be easy, but I mean, look, if it's like, hey, I get to keep the $100 billion, so okay, well, hopefully my family's gonna be on my side, and so they can help hide it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be my money after.
Oh,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So don't narc on me. It's
I'll help
I'm
you.
sharing that money. You know, I mean, I don't know. I turned on my kids for my mom, so maybe my mom can throw me into the house for a little bit and
Yeah.
keep me, you know, locked in the attic for a little bit. I don't know.
I think where you're going with the woods is good. I mean, if you just like, maybe you get like somebody earlier, like, you know, Mrs. Doubtfire, how they just put like makeup on his face.
Yeah.
I think you could do something like that. Then you can get something like a Bushman type thing.
The Hunt for the Wilder People
Yeah,
reference.
yeah. So it's like,
Great movie.
Yes.
Look, if you have not seen the movie Hunt for the Wilder People on Netflix, strong recommendation.
very strong. And so I feel like if you could just like maybe find a cave, no bears, no bats. you could probably camp out there for 2 days, and you could probably bring some like cookable, easily meals. Like adventure meals. You'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be fine. You like those freeze dried meals when you were camping.
I would do that for $100 billion though.
No, it didn't sound like you would after that camp out, but I'm glad you've changed your mind.
Yeah.
All right. Good night to everybody. Thank you. This episode continues to be sponsored by Doc R. Haldeman, LLC.
Yeah.
Go see Renee Haldeman for any of your acupuncture needs.
Mm-hmm.
They are at Renaissance Health Center in West Las Vegas on the top of Cheyenne, and I think it might be Cliff Shadows is the actual street. I can't remember what it is, but
Yeah.
as we're working on the sponsorship, look, we'll get a full address for more money.
Yeah. We will.
Yeah, we'll do better. We'll keep doing better. We'll try to keep laughing. And hey, ladies, if you're looking for some more smooches, I guess he's the guy that gives them out now. So
I am the guy.
no, you're the man now.
Yeah, I am the man.
All right, be good.